But there are people gonna tell, no, I don't think it's gonna work. The website is gonna do everything. It was kind of accidental that I became Dolphin trainer. Here in Monaco, it was gonna work.
Well, thank you so much for welcoming me today in your...
No problem.
Yeah, in your house in Vence. We don't live that far away from each other, right?
Kind of neighbors.
Sort of neighbors. So your house is full of dogs.
Yes.
So we found a place that you use as an office.
Yeah.
So could you tell me, what is it that you do?
That I do?
Yeah.
I have two businesses. The first one I started at 11 years ago. And we do walks. We walk dogs.
Okay. Dog walking.
Dog walking, yes. I started 11 years ago. Most of my clients are in Monaco. So we go pick up the dogs. We have vans, so we pick them up, a few of them, and then we go up to the hill and then we walk them there off leash. You know, they are running around playing, and we stay there for an hour around, and then we bring them back.
Yeah.
And then we do a second walk with bigger dogs, because we put them by size. So the morning one is small ones, and then the second group is big dogs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we do. We drop them back, and yeah, when the clients are away, they ask us to keep their dogs while they are away. So we keep them here. They are no cages. They are in our house, like if they were in their houses. So. Yeah, that's also something that we do. We do dog sitting or boarding. And my second business is fresh food for dogs. We just started this business, and we have our laboratory in Menton. So everything is like in a restaurant, you know. We use human grade ingredients. The best quality, and we deliver our clients every week or every 2 weeks, depending on what they want.
Oh wow!
So that's the second business that we're starting. That is growing little by little.
Yeah, but are those bags of dog food, or is it prepared meals and?
Yeah, it's like an prepared meal. We use the meat. We have meat and veggies. Okay. We prepare them like I don't know how to say in English, when we use a machine, and then the meat is haché in French.
Meat grinder.
So and then we mix it. We put them in a sous vide vacuum in a little bag, depending on the dog, because it's really personalized for the dog. So we need to do a calculation depending on the breed, on the age, and the activity level, and depending on that, we know how much the dog needs to eat per day, and then we deliver exactly the quantity for a week. So we put the food in this vacuum, and then we slow cook. And then we have to lower the temperature very fast, and we put them in the fridge, and then we deliver the next day. So it's fresh food. The clients need just to open the little bag and serve. It just as easy as.
Yeah. Impressive. How did you come up with the idea?
Because we are doing walks, and it's very important. Like humans, we do. We go to the gym or we do exercise, and the second part that is really important to be healthy is what we eat, right? And so we wanted to do all around, do the walks, the exercise, but also do the food. Yeah. The nutrition, is very important, because a lot of dogs, because it's been now 11 years I've been working with dogs, so I had a lot of dogs that died, and a lot of the time is because of the food they eating, it's over-processed, industrial, so it has a lot of chemicals, a lot of conservatives and all that is at the end not very good for the dog. Our food is really natural. We don't put any any preservative, anything. It's just the ingredients and it's fresh. So that's what we wanted to do. So the dogs live, because this is really, really important. So we can have them as long as possible with us. Yeah.
No, but it does make sense what you said. I mean, we take care of ourselves by watching what we eat. Make sure that we exercise daily or at least regularly.
Exactly. And we have different recipes also, because dogs sometimes you can't, because I keep them here. I see that sometimes they don't want to eat, the kibbles, so and it changes completely when you give them really meat and veggies, right? When you give them, they are so happy to eat, and then we have 3 recipes, so they can change of recipes, but even just one is so good that they are so happy.
Very interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
And for your dog walking business, I mean, it's all related to each other. It's all related and targeted to dog owners and dogs. But can you give me an idea, how many dogs do you walk on a daily basis? I
have 5 employees.
Yeah.
Now I'm not doing the walks, because I'm now doing the food. I'm focused on growing this other business. But I have 5 employees, and each of them, like for little dogs, they walk around 7 dogs in the morning, and in the afternoon, and the second walk, it's around 5 each. So around 12 dogs each, and they are 5. So around 60, 70 dogs every day. Yeah,
it's quite a lot.
Yeah. There are a lot of dogs. Most of the people now have or a cat or a dog. So and Monaco, it is it worked also in Monaco, because there's no spaces in Monaco for the dogs, like in States or England, right? That there are parks where you can take them and walk them, even off leash. In Monaco, there's no place. You have to have them on leash, and it's not really the same. They cannot play with the dogs the way they do when they are with us. They are really off leash, and they are playing and running, right? And Monaco is it's complicated. That's why probably it worked also for me, because the dogs have the opportunity to go out in nature, and socialize and play with the dogs, and get tired, because walking your dog on leash is really not the same as walking them off leash and being with the dogs.
Letting them go and play. Yeah. Just it's not entirely comparable, but with kids as well, of course.
Yes, exactly.
If you keep them inside, so it's completely different than if you can let them go outside and play.
Being with other kids and that's
very cool.
Yeah.
And just for my reference, because I'm also always thinking in that part, but how much would you charge to take a dog for a walk? Is it on a per walk basis or a monthly subscription?
We have a flat rate. So depending on how often the dog comes to the walk, so he can come once a week, twice a week, 3 times, 4, 5 times. So depending on that, it's is the price. For a small dog, for example, if he comes only once a week, our monthly flat rate is 140 euros.
Okay.
And the big one, if he does twice, 275. If he's 3, it's around 380, I think. 4, it depends also on the size. The little ones is cheaper than the big ones, because they're easier than big ones. So, but before the flat rates, I was charging individually, or if there is people that are here just because they come on vacation or they come for a month or 2, then I charge per walk. It's around, for a little dog, it's 35 euros, and for a big dog, it's 40 euros per dog.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have a dog, so that sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And how did you find your clients here? Because you are not originally from France.
I'm from Mexico. So
Mexico.
When I was going to leave Mexico and I knew I was going to come here, I used to work already with animals. I used to train dolphins in Mexico, so when I knew I was going to come here, I wanted to keep working with animals. So I was already thinking what I'm going to do over there, and there are not many dolphins in France, so it's going to be complicated to keep working with dolphins. So I thought dogs are everywhere, so I can work with dogs. So I started doing a research, and I see that there was no one doing at that time what I'm doing now. So I say that's an opportunity to do that. So I knew the people in Monaco, it's people that have money, so I wanted to do a profession, so I went to New York to do certification. So I did a certification because in the States it's really big, all the dog walking stuff.
Is it?
Yeah, there are dog walkers everywhere. So I did a certification over there, certification for CPR also, in case something happened with dogs, and it's good for the clients to know that we know in case something happened we can manage. And then after, I came to France. In the beginning I didn't speak French, so I wanted to learn, so I wanted to do something else, just get a job, and so I can be with other French people and learn faster. But because I didn't speak the language, it was complicated. So I said I'm gonna start the business straight. So I started doing the website myself and the logo, and at one point I just I started, even before I started officially, I started getting emails because the website was already online, and I use website for English because I didn't speak French, so English people here living English, the people that speak English here in the Riviera, and especially Monaco. And it was fast. I got my first client, and he was living in a building where it's a big building. There's a garden in the middle, and there is a space for dogs. So people that have dogs, they meet there, and he started talking about my business. So then another person called me, and at one point I used to go there and get 3 or 4 dogs in the same building. So and Monaco is really small, so the word of mouth works. So
travels really
I didn't
fast.
really do much publicity or anything, advertising. So it was just word of mouth, and I started like this.
Just built a website in English.
In English, yeah.
And then you got some organic traffic.
Exactly.
And
I used Google in the beginning a little bit, but I was the only one, so I didn't need to pay for to be the first, because I was the only one.
Yeah.
So if people write dog walking Monaco, I was the first one.
Yeah.
Because there was no other people. Now there are more, but I knew it was going to come at one point. I wanted to grow fast in the beginning.
Yeah.
So so now we are the biggest I think in the Riviera. Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
And when did you started here then? Because you started that dog walking business 11 years ago. Was that in France or in Mexico?
No, it was here in France. Yeah, in Mexico I used to.
So
use
you've been living here for 11 plus years, yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, because then it was 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon there was not much competition.
Yeah,
back
not
then,
at all.
especially not on the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now there are a few, but it was normal that it was gonna happen. I knew.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Great niche market.
Yes, and our vans have the logo, and there are a few vans, so most of the people in Monaco have seen our vans or Doggy Adventures.
Yeah. Wow. And I don't want to just pass on the subject that you just mentioned that you were a dolphin trainer.
Yes.
In Mexico.
Yeah.
But can you tell me something about that? You were the first dolphin trainer that I met in my life.
It was funny because the story, I didn't want to, it was kind of accidental that I became the dolphin trainer, because I was looking for another job, and I went to this interview, and the lady that was interviewing me asked me, if you don't get this job, would you like to do another job from the list of jobs that they were offering? And I saw that they were apprentice trainer.
Okay.
So I said, yeah, I would like to do that, and she just said, okay, no problem. And then when I saw how she reacted, and I told her, can I apply for that first instead of the one I was going to apply? And she said, yeah. So she asked me to go and for the interview, and we needed to speak English, so it was an English test because I'm from Cancun, so there are a lot of tourists, especially Americans, so it's important to speak English. So I did the test, I did the interview, and I needed to do a swimming test also, but I was
quite important.
Yes. I was doing a job before where I used to be, sometimes we call jungle tour, is driving a little boat, going to the reef and swimming. So I used to swim all day, so I was good at swimming. So the test was okay for me, a swimming test, and I got the job like this, so by accident, and I stayed there for 2 years, and then they opened a facility in Cayman Islands.
Wow.
And they asked me to go to Cayman Islands, and I went to Cayman Islands to keep working with
and what does dolphin training, what does that mean?
In Mexico, in Cayman Islands, Mexico, we do programs, interactive programs. That means it's not the same as here in Europe. People here in Europe cannot go in the water with the dolphins. Sometimes you can pay to touch the dolphin, but you cannot go in the water. But in Mexico, people go in the water, and the dolphins can push them by the feet.
Okay.
Or you can hold their fins, or you can get a kiss, but they are in the water with the dolphin. So I'm the one that is talking with the people and sending the dolphin to do the stuff, and training all the time, training behaviors. And we do a lot of medical behaviors. We need to get blood sample. We need to check every day their teeth, their body, their blowhole, that everything is good. That's why the dolphins live longer in captivity, because
they do?
Yeah, they can live. The record is about 50, 55.
Oh, wow.
In the wild,
Compared
just
to?
20, 25 in the wild.
So twice as long?
Yes. Because there is, if they are sick, because they get sick like us, there is medication right now. In the wild, they are predators, they get sick, there's nothing, so that's why they live a little longer.
And how do you train a dolphin then? Do you have a method?
Yeah, the method we call it, and it's the same that I use with all the animals, because we call it operant conditioning.
Okay.
Operant conditioning. The animals learn by consequences, all of them, even all sometimes. So it means that if the animal do something, if the consequence is good, it's going to repeat. If the consequence is not good, then the behavior is going to disappear if it's not reinforced. Like when I ask a dog to sit in, I reinforce every time, he's going to want to sit all the time because he wants the reinforcement. So we work like that with dolphins by reinforcing good behavior. We train them. The first thing that we do with a dolphin is train them to touch a target pole. And when they touch, we reinforce. When they touch, we reinforce. So with that, we can start doing a lot of things, like flip, for example. If I want him to flip, I put the target and he comes, and then I move the target and he's gonna follow, and he starts doing the movement that I want. He doesn't do it the first time. There's a lot of steps to get to one behavior. It can take a month, 2 months, depending on how complicated. But dolphins are really, really smart, so they can learn really fast. The beginning it takes time to learn for them to touch the target, but once they know how it works, it can go very fast. Yeah.
Very
So
interesting.
if I want him, if we want him to jump, then we put the target in the air, so he has to jump to touch the target.
Yeah.
So, and that's the way we train to jump.
And when he does that, then you reinforce.
We reinforce exactly.
Yeah,
that's what we want. So we reinforce.
Yeah.
And that's by just reinforcing good behaviors. And we don't use punishment, just to be clear. We don't punish, and I do the same with my dogs. I don't punish when they do bad behaviors. I just ignore them, and because they are not reinforced, at one point they stop doing them. So
yeah, and when they do something that is good behavior,
exactly.
then you reward, so they
exactly.
will get that
I prefer
connection.
to reinforce something I want that punish something I don't want. So if a dog, for example, is jumping on you and I don't want him to jump on me, I just ignore. At one point, he's going to stop. But I reinforce also when he's not jumping, so he understands that when he's there, that's what I want, right?
Okay. So then you reward him.
Exactly. It's clear for them. It's clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you reward them with? And
it depends.
Cuisine of your.
It depends the animals, because even dogs, they have different likes and dislikes, right? Some dogs you can reinforce them with carrots and they love carrots, and some others they don't eat carrots, they don't like them. So you need to know the animal to know what you can reinforce, and there are some reinforcement that are really high quality. I mean, high quality, they really like them, like for example a piece of cheese, and the other ones that they can eat but it's not as high value, you know. So some behaviors, or when they really do good, I can reinforce them with the high value. For example, the recall that for me is very important with the dogs, because I want them to come in case there is something. I want them always to come to me, so I always reinforce high value. I can give them what they really like, piece of cheese or some treats that they like. Yeah. Because I want them to always do. If we call them, because as the people do always, is like they call them, and then they call them to go to their house, right? They walk stop. So the dog is gonna associate the recall means stop the walk. So they are not gonna come because they know what is the consequence. And but if you reinforce, then he's gonna come because he knows the consequence is gonna be positive. Yeah. So that's how it works. Yeah. Sometimes people accidentally reinforce because they don't know, and that's normal. So like jumping, they start, they're happy, and so they reinforce the dog, because even touching for dogs is really reinforcing. So
it's attention.
Exactly, they want attention, and that's just attention is reinforcing for the dog. So yeah. So sometimes we reinforce behaviors that we don't want because we give them attention. Yeah.
And we had written down just a few questions, but one of them is really related to what you just explained. And what is that piece of advice that you would give to pet owners? If there is some good recommendation that you can give them.
You know, I'm not like, there are some trainers that are really black and white, like don't let them go on the couch, or don't let them do. I think we always we can do whatever we want, but we have to be clear, right? Like the dogs is not, if you let him go, sometimes yes, sometimes not, the dog's not gonna understand because it's not as smart as we think. So just be black and white, as we call. If you don't want, then you always do that. Like if you don't want him to go in the kitchen, don't let him sometimes go in and sometimes not, whenever you want. You can, but it's a lot of work to really work on stuff like that for the dog to understand when and not.
It's confusing.
Exactly. So sometimes you give him a shoe, when you tell him it's an old shoe, he can eat, but he cannot tell if that shoe is for him or not, right? Okay. He's gonna see the other shoes, why this one, and he's gonna go with the other shoes, and in his
shoe is a shoe.
Exactly. Or you let him go on the bed. Sometimes yes, sometimes not. It's just be clear, and it's important for the dogs. Always be in the same thing, right? Don't change, because then they don't understand.
Yeah. Be clear and consequent.
Be clear, exactly.
Yeah. And can you share a funny story that you have had over the years with the dog walking business?
A funny story. Yeah, one time, we go up in the hill and then we start walking, and the dogs they go poop over there, right? And sometimes we check because we need to see they are pooping okay to tell the owners and stuff. And in one we found in the poop, we started like it's weird, so we use kind of like sticks, to check, and it was how do you call underwear? A woman underwear, but really like a little, and with spots like jaguar. So that was
sexy lingerie. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that we didn't see exactly which one. We thought one dog, but we never ask. We cannot ask that to the
Don't go
owner.
back to the owner to see if it
Is this
fits.
yours? That was funny. Yes.
Oh yeah, wow, that is funny. And may I ask, what is next for you?
Oh, you have so much stuff. That's why I'm working a lot lately. With Doggy Adventures, I am looking now for a land to do a daycare. To do a daycare means we don't work them like we do, but we pick them up in the morning, we take them to our daycare, they stay whole day while the people are working, and then we drop them back at the end of the day at 6 p.m. So that's in process. I need to find a good place because here it's complicated to find flat lands, it's complicated, and also the price, right? It can be very expensive. So I'm looking for it, and so this is something we want to do close to Monaco for our clients in Monaco and around Monaco. And it doesn't have to be really close, because the closer is complicated around Monaco, so maybe even a little farther, 20-25 minutes, it's okay. And because we offer the pickup, people don't have to come and drop off their dog.
Yeah.
And so that's
But it's easier for you. I assume that you don't have to travel 1.5 hours to pick them up, right? So.
Yeah, but we give the option if they want to drop off their dog, depending on where it's going to be. It can be easy for the people or not. Some people, they just don't want to go out and come back, because most of the people are going to be working in Monaco.
Yeah.
But maybe we can pick up in Monaco every day and drop them off.
Yeah.
So that's something that we want to do, and we want to buy a house, a big house where we can do like a hotel, like what we do here, but for more dogs. But it's just in my idea, I just want something that looks like a house where they can feel like in their houses, and there are gonna be some rooms for the dogs where they can sleep wherever they want. But something VIP, like no cages, and a big land also for them to run, maybe a pool for them in the summer, and offer, even give them our food, serve our food in the hotel for the dogs, and do grooming and stuff before dropping them back. So that's another thing, but that's when people go away, so we keep them for a few days. Sometimes people leave them even for a month or two, or our clients travel a lot, so we have a lot same dogs. But that's another thing. I want to really grow our food and maybe change place to something bigger. And I'm in the process to talk with a supermarket in Monaco, so they can put it in the.
So they can start selling it as well.
Yeah. So and with restaurants in Monaco, you can bring your dog to most of the restaurants. So I wanna talk to restaurants, so they can, if they come with their dogs, if they want them to eat in the restaurant with them, then they can serve our food to the dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our plan. So we need to work. we need to. That's why we do the club also, because we know people. You need to do meet all the people, and we never know who is gonna know someone, and
yeah, I mean, like you said, in Monaco then specifically, but it's a general principle that applies to the world.
We
It
don't.
is a small
Our
world.
food is not just from Monaco. My dog walking is just Monaco, but our food we do it in Series 6, and
nice.
then after that's another thing that I need to do. Then after all the country, we can ship the food with Corner Fresh.
Yeah.
So we can do it everywhere. Our website is not 100%. That's why it is taking a little bit of time, because the algorithm is kind of complicated to do, because it is the algorithm that is going to calculate how much the dog is going to. The website is going to do everything. People are going to enter all the information. It's going to tell how much the dog needs to eat and the prices already, and then they choose and then they pay. And we don't. Now we are doing it by ourselves. We do the calculation. We send the text or the email to the people, because the website is not ready.
Okay.
I mean, we can see all the information, but the payment is not 100%. But this 90% is gonna be ready maybe next month, and then we start
Scaling up.
advertisement and everything to get us many clients as we.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And one last question that I have for you. Can you, I mean, you've been in business for quite a long time. What is your recommendation for people looking to get started, really?
It depends on. I think it depends on what they want to do. Sometimes it doesn't take as much money, and so in France there exists, like I did the what's the name, auto-entrepreneur. So there is something that there is no risk. You can start with that, and you can start testing and see if it works, and then you can start really like business SARL, but it doesn't take much risk. You don't need an accountant. You declare yourself, and if you start, I think sometimes there are helps, so you can pay less VAT. But I think there is one of the things you need to try, if you can, depending on what you're doing, right? Some of the businesses you need really to invest. As I think, sometimes it depends. If you're not from here, also it can be complicated. All the paper stuff is complicated, right? So maybe find someone that is used to help other people doing that, to make it easier for you, because it can be complicated.
Yeah. So don't try to overcomplicate things.
Exactly.
Start.
Exactly. Yeah. And do it, because I think we overthink too much. Or sometimes people tell you it's not gonna work or stuff. When I started dog walking, because people here are not used to that. To pay someone to walk their dog. But I knew in Monaco it was going to work. In France, I don't know, maybe it works. There is more and more now. But there are people going to tell, no, I don't think it's going to work, or they don't believe, especially if you tell them how much you're going to charge and stuff. So because they think it was too expensive, whatever. But I mean, I was sure it was going to work, so I just did, and it worked. So.
Yeah, you built quite an impressive business over the years.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
It was a pleasure.
You told me that you are very busy today because you just came back from a trip to Africa.
Yeah.
What was that trip for, by the way? Just curiosity.
It was just to see animals, It was just to be really see animals in the wild, it was just a break. And to start really strong again to work and develop our business.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So it was an inspiration trip for you.
Exactly. Yeah, it was really good, and it makes us realize also how good we are, how blessed we are here.
Yeah, so we have it all.
Exactly. Yeah. So that makes you appreciate what you have also.
Absolutely. Well said. Thank you so much again, and I will see you soon at one of the events, probably.
Yeah. That's for sure. It's really nice for us to meet people in the events that are really nice and very interesting to know, all these stories of people that are doing business or starting businesses. So
yeah, great to hear that. Thank you so much, man.
No problem.
See you soon.
All right.